I want to work on volcanoes, the domestication of volcanoes. And domestication can be a metaphor or very broad to control or manage. But we might take it a bit more seriously, even though we're speaking about mountains and rocks. An Icelandic geologist said recently that Iceland has 30 volcanic systems, and each of them has its own personality, and that's a good point. Stones, rocks, volcanoes have a certain liveliness, and it's worthwhile to figure out that liveliness and what it means for the people who live nearby volcanoes. They often talk about them as beasts that need to be tamed and domesticated, and I want to study this in the Icelandic context. That's a rich context, of course, for volcanoes and eruptions. The Anthropocene is a new recent term for a new era in the history of the planet, an era taking on from the Holocene, and the idea is that humans have become a major geological force in shaping life on every level. So it's a strong term, and geologists have been debating about whether or not to legalize it, and it seems to stay. There's lots of criticism on it, partly on the grounds that it's not just humans that make things the way they are. It's lots of other agents living and solid. But anyway, the term seems to stay on the agenda, and geologists have kind of made it theirs, but there are good grounds for addressing the Anthropocene from the perspective of social sciences and humanities, including anthropology. If it is a fact that humans and the earth have become so intertwined that they can't be split, that the human agency is a geological force, part of the system, then we need to seriously, social scientists and humanities scholars, to address the Anthropocene, and that means broadening the perspective extensively from the geological take on periodization in the history of the planet. And there are many ways to do this, no doubt, and I imagine this will be a big issue over the next years, and I'm keen to at least follow it. One of the things we as social scientists and humanities scholars can do is to try to craft new terms to deal with this fusion of humans and the planet. And geopolitics, in a new sense, is one possibility. We have geopolitics as the politics of, say, the oceans and territorial battles for space and dominance. But I'm thinking of geopolitics in a very different sense. Every kind of politics involving the planet. And another term we might play with is geosociality, the fact that the sociality of humans seems to be very much intertwined with the being of the planet itself.